Hello everybody, my name is Eric Wire from Between the Bolter and Me, and today I'm going to do an unboxing video of one of the newer Adeptus Mechanicus kits that was released last year. And to be honest, this particular kit, the Electro-Priests, well, I was initially excited about hearing that they were going to be released because of it was like an old unit that was in the second edition in the Codex Imperialis, but when actually seeing the models, I feel compared to all the other excellent Adeptus Mechanicus kits released last year, this one's probably the weakest of them, and I think that's primarily due to kind of some of the wonky and weird proportions of the models, and I think it's particularly noticeable on their feet here, which admittedly I think it was very much by design, since these particular models have electricity coursing through like their skin and veins. They wanted to have thick rubberized feet to kind of ground themselves, but I think with all the robes and stuff on them, like it kind of hides their leg structure, and it ends up just looking like they have these sort of small bodies and gigantic feet. And kind of along those lines as well, these large staves look a little bit awkward since there's no like actual like blade or anything to focus on. But I think most of the components by themselves are actually pretty good. It's just as a whole they look a little bit awkward. But yeah, so I'm just going to get into the unboxing here. But yeah, this particular unit, it comes with 5 models, and they either build these Fulgurite Electro-Priests, or looking at the back here, they can also build this other unit, which are the Corpus Cari Electro-Priests. But yeah, so I'll just get into unboxing it here. So let's see here. Just set this off to the side, and okay, so you can see here we have our instruction manual, a set of 5 bases, which these particular bases are the newer 32mm ones, and then we have our 2 sprues here. I guess just say a little bit about the instructions here. It's kind of similar to all the newer instructions that are far superior to some like the early 2000 ones. These ones, since like they were designed on a computer, they have all kind of the CAD renderings here, and they do a really good job of like showing you how the various models should be assembled, particularly with some of these newer kits in which like a lot of the arms are paired specifically, and they're not like kind of the classical multi-part kit from before, in which to get these poses to look and fit correctly, you kind of want to follow these particular instructions. Although, to be honest, if you really want to do another pose, like since they're plastic, like it really wouldn't be that difficult to change them. But yeah, so they have these nice instructions for just all the different particular models and how to go about them, and yeah, it's just far superior to how it used to be, where like they would have like maybe a small sort of instructional thing, but it wouldn't be numbered, and you wouldn't have like sort of notifications of what should or shouldn't be glued and all those things. But this actually does. And yeah, on the back, like all the newer kits, they actually have the rules as well, which is a nice touch. But getting to the actual models here, the 2 sprues, you can see that don't appear to be arranged in any particular order, in which you have some of the bodies and all the different weapons scattered throughout. But I'll just start to talk about this one here. You can see, zoom in here a little bit, where that you have all the particular bodies, and you can see that most of them are actually like pretty continuous. You don't actually glue on the torsos. All you have to do in terms of their legs, you glue on these little back halves, which I'll just turn this around here. Yeah, so they don't really have any detail back here to like substantiate these gigantic legs. But yeah, so in addition to these bodies here, you can see kind of their electro staves, which the actual detail in all of these is pretty fun and really nice. Like, you can see actually all the little circuitry laid in the arms and in their bodies and such. And the staves themselves, well, I mean, they're sculpted nice. I'm not particularly thrilled with just the overall design, and they look kind of large in comparison to like their hands, and there's no real focal point. It's just this long kind of thick staff here. And for both of the particular types of models, they have these like generators on their backs. The Corpus Cari have these like particularly oversized ones, which I'm not particularly a fan of, again, just due to their large size. But I feel you could work with them or use them for other sort of Mechanicum conversions and things. I feel far superior to these particular staves. The Corpus Cari have just like their little like hands actually just shoot electricity, and so you can see them kind of modeled here, and they actually look pretty nice with their individual fingers and such, and I think would be pretty good for all manner of conversions. If like making like a psyker or something, you want to have an outstretched hand or whatnot, you might want to, like they kind of these little caps on their fingers, which might want to be removed for that sort of thing. But overall, I think they look quite nice. And between the different kits, or the different units, they have also these little like halos that go around their head, either sort of this cog design, or this one that has these like little tubes on them, which I think work fairly well for this particular model kit, but I think would also be pretty good for other conversions, creating like little iron halos for Space Marines, or like other sorts of models, Inquisitors, that sort of thing. And yeah, so just more of these, like the little halos and kind of that fit around their necks and such. Just look a little bit at this second sprue here, which, to be honest, is kind of more the same sort of stuff. You have the remainder of the last bodies here, and all the particular arms and such. There is a lot of cabling and such, which admittedly they've done a really nice job keeping them pretty small and thin and look quite good. Kind of the only caveat to that, and kind of going back to why I think these staves look a little weird, is because the cabling that connects to their arms here are so thick, almost as thick as the staff itself. It kind of draws your focus to those cords rather than like the hands or the weapons themselves, and makes it just look, I don't know, a little awkward, but which you don't really have that for the these electric gauntlets, which I think is nicer. And I guess kind of back to this sort of weird proportion of the models, I think a lot of each individual component is pretty well proportioned, but all together, like the legs look pretty nice, but then like the feet are pretty large, like the arms themselves look good, well sized and proportioned, but because they don't have any like cloth or clothing around their torsos, when you actually glue the arms on, you can pretty easily see the seams there, which I think just sort of draws attention to how like these were put together as these multi-part things. And I think if you'd want to actually make them look better or use them, it would be a little bit better to like actually use some green stuff or some sort of modeling putty to sort of fill in those seams. I guess you might sort of be wondering, like, if I'm not particularly thrilled with this particular kit, like, why even do the unboxing for them at all, particularly considering I don't have a wealth of other unboxing videos at the moment. And I guess the reason for that is because, well, I said I'm not particularly thrilled with how the model comes together as a whole. I think they will be pretty good for various conversions and such, particularly like I think combining it with like the Empire Flagellant kit, or various empire things for making various kind of religious fanatics or cults, anything just for in the Imperium, or to go along with the Sisters of Battle, or anything like that, any sort of Inquisitor 28 conversion. I think they would be very good, because getting away from perhaps these large feet, like the actual like torsos and the arms and hands and their faces and such are pretty good and well proportioned, that I think you could use. And even adding to that, I think if you would just clip off these particular feet and replace them with other feet, like you could even like replace them with some of the bare feet from the Dark Elder Hellion kit, something like that, I think would draw a bit less attention to them, and I think could be pretty nice. So, I don't know, I think that's about all I really have to say about this particular kit. Hopefully, in the future, we'll be able to show you some conversions or something that we've done with these models, so you don't have to just take my word for it in this unboxing and can actually, see something done with them. Well, I guess thank you for listening. I would encourage you to go check out our blog, Between the Bolter and Me. We have lots of interesting posts, particularly focusing on various conversions and just looking at new releases. I guess, but until next time, thanks for watching, and this is Eric Wire signing out.